It was a quiet night in February 2016 at Bangladesh's central bank. The offices were dark, employees had gone home, and computers were still running. Somewhere across the world, hackers had been preparing for months, studying systems and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Their target was Bangladesh Bank, the nation's central bank, and their goal was to steal nearly $1 billion without being detected. They did not use weapons or masks. They used computer code and knowledge of international banking systems. The attackers secretly planted malicious software inside the bank's network and learned how employees approved international transfers. On the night of February 4, 2016, they began sending fake but convincing transfer requests through the global SWIFT network. Each transfer looked legitimate and appeared to come from authorized computers inside the bank. In total, they attempted to move $951 million to accounts in the Philippines and Sri Lanka. No alarms were triggered and no one noticed the transfers happening in real time. The money began moving silently across international banking systems. The next morning, employees arrived at the bank and noticed printers malfunctioning and records missing. At first, they believed it was only a technical problem. When they checked the accounts, they realized millions of dollars had already left the country. The bank immediately contacted the Federal Reserve Bank of New York to stop any remaining transfers. By that time, 5 large transfers had already gone through, totaling $81 million. What stopped the remaining hundreds of millions was a simple spelling mistake in one transfer request. A bank employee noticed the error and froze the transaction before it could be completed. Because of this mistake, more than $870 million was saved. The stolen money was traced to bank accounts in the Philippines connected to local casinos. From there, the money began disappearing through gambling tables and cash exchanges. Investigators learned that the money was converted into casino chips, briefly gambled, and then cashed out. Once the money entered the casino system, tracking it became extremely difficult. Authorities in Bangladesh, the Philippines, and the United States launched an international investigation. Cybersecurity experts analyzed the malicious software used in the attack. Financial investigators followed transaction records across multiple countries. Evidence eventually pointed toward an organized cybercrime group known as the Lazarus Group. This group had previously been linked to major cyber attacks on banks and corporations around the world. Unlike traditional criminals, these suspects were hidden behind computers and false identities. Only about $15 million of the stolen money was ever recovered. The remaining funds disappeared into the global financial system. The loss was devastating for Bangladesh, as the money was part of the country's national reserves. Public outrage followed and government officials were questioned about security failures. The bank admitted that its computer systems had been outdated and poorly protected. Banks around the world began upgrading their cybersecurity defenses. New rules were created for approving large international money transfers. Human verification became more important than automated systems. The crime showed that modern robberies no longer require physical presence. No doors were broken and no vaults were opened. The theft happened quietly through computer networks. The most shocking detail was that the crime was stopped by a spelling mistake. One person noticed one wrong word and prevented the largest theft in banking history. Today, the case is studied by cybersecurity experts and financial institutions worldwide. It serves as a warning about trusting technology without enough human oversight. The Bangladesh bank heist marked the beginning of a new era of digital crime. It showed how money can disappear without violence or visible danger. This was not just a story of theft, but a lesson about security and responsibility. Nearly $1 billion almost vanished in a single night. All because systems trusted what appeared to be normal transactions. In the end, the crime was stopped by human attention, not technology. The Bangladesh bank cyber heist remains one of the most daring financial crimes in history. It reminds us that the most dangerous heists can happen silently and invisibly.